All right. Juan Vasquez.
My name is Juan and I go to WELS High School in Burien. Thank you, City Council, for allowing my class and me to use our voice to speak on behalf of the young people in the Burien community. Over the past several weeks, my class has been working on a project to present to y'all. Our class' ultimate goal is to help people feel safe and that they belong here. Through our experiences, we felt that the police were unfit to handle a group of diverse young people, and a part of that problem is that they're not diverse themselves. And another part of the problem is that their training is not best fit to help them interact with the youth. After personally inviting the Chief of Police, Bo, into our classroom, we gained a lot of information from talking with him and asking him questions. Chief Bo asked us, what is one thing that makes this community stronger? We said the relationships you build with people within the community and the mutual trust. He showed us an infographic chart that showed 3 main things they are focusing on: addressing criminal behavior, building community relationships, and supporting and developing the cops. But the thing is, the community part is getting pushed to the side. They are focusing more on training the cops and the punishment of criminals. The community has to be given more attention, because without more attention given to the increasing positive relationships, the relationships between the youth and the police won't get better. We learned from Bo that they have a plan in place for better anti-bias training for police. They have $15K to dedicate to this training. We hope it includes training by someone from our community who knows our community. Also, we hope it includes the voices of the youth. We need to have input in their training because we are the ones facing them every day. Therefore, we ask, as the community, that the City Council takes into consideration the following suggestions. We suggest that you include community voice, especially the voice of the youth, in the training of the police, such as student-led training. Also, we suggest more events that push police officers to meet, connect with, and bond with our community. Thank you, City Council, for your time.
Thank you very much.
Good evening. My name is Raven Gunya, and I'm a student from WELS in Burien. Every officer who came into your classroom already started off every session telling us to see beyond the uniform and we're human too. I don't fear the police because of the uniform they don, nor think they aren't human. I fear the police because what has been done to others and the power they hold. I care about what they do to everybody, the youth, adults, other officers, everyone. Police should not come to us and pin themselves as a victim when they also need to shift their perspective as well. I support the implicit bias training in the proposed budget. The training is necessary because it's their responsibility to see beyond us being the youth, our clothing choices, and the color of our skin. Just like the officer said, they are more than their uniform. We are more than students. We are more than the clothing we wear. We are more than the color of our skin. We are community members. We have responsibilities. We have families and loved ones. We are human too, just like you. Therefore, we ask, as a community, the City Council take into consideration the following suggestions. We advise you include more community voice, especially the voices of youth, and the training of police, such as student-led training. We also suggest more events that push police officers to meet, connect with, and bond with our community. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Christina. I'm a student at WELS in Burien. Who in here goes grocery shopping? Recently, I had a friend explain to me why he's afraid to go grocery shopping at Safeway. He and I were going to go get something to eat from the store, but when we were leaving, we saw a labeled ICE van waiting outside in the parking lot. When we spotted the van, he tried to play it cool, but I can see the panic in his eyes, because we knew exactly what it was and the consequences that can come from it. Seeing him get all red and stood on his words made me worry even more. Just imagining that I would see him get taken away from me right in front of my eyes, not knowing knowing that I couldn't do nothing made me scared and furious. To get home safely, we had to head back into the store and walk around to an exit another way. Shouldn't we all be able to go to the store without fear of getting separated from the people that we love? Imagine feeling paranoid every time you go out in public. A week later, we were pulling up to the same store, and we saw an ICE van, but this time it was unmarked. Out of fear, we decided that he would stay in the car, and I would go buy groceries by myself. We know that the Burien Police Department has an initiative to, quote, provide quality holistic services for vulnerable populations and at-risk community members. What services are you providing for the most vulnerable community members, like my friend in this story? Imagine when I walked out of the store into the parking lot, there had been Burien police officers nearby. Imagine if I felt safe enough to go for them for protection. Imagine, that's the reality I want. And after spending time with officers in my classroom, I believe that it is possible. To make this possible, we ask as a community that the City Council take into consideration the following suggestions. We suggest that you include community voice, especially the voices of youth, into the training of police, such as student-led training. Also, we suggest more events that push police officers to meet, connect with, and bond with their community. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Brenda, and I'm a student at WELS High School in Burien. I'm here to talk about community voice, especially youth voice in the training of police. I also want to talk about how officers build community connections. During my freshman year, I attended Evergreen High School. My friend and I were called into the principal's office after making a dumb decision. The school's resource officer was then called in, and the principal stated to him a whole different version of the incident. The SRO then had the principal and staff leave the room while he quote-unquote lectured us. He said one thing about his job that made it hard is liars, and as he gave us a deadly stare, he said, "I hate liars." It took me a while to soak in that the person that had previously been wanting to build a bond with me, making me feel comfortable and like I could trust him, had just yelled at me, proclaiming that I was lying at him. After this incident, I felt like both him and the school were targeting my friend and me. They were honest for the smallest moves we would make. This made it harder to focus on learning because I felt like I was being pushed out of school. This is one of many incidents in which students are being pushed out of schools and into gang activity, violence, and drugs. According to discipline data from last year, in the Highline Public School District, students of color were disciplined at a higher rate than white students. We know that the King County Sheriff's Office is increasing the budget for anti-bias training, but we believe that this training won't be effective unless it includes our voices. Therefore, we ask as a community that the Burien City Council takes into consideration the following suggestions. We advise that you include community voice, especially the voices of youth, in the training of police, such as student-led training. Also, we suggest more events that push police officers to meet, connect, and bond with their community. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Aubriana, and I'm a student at WELS in Burien. I come to you as a representative of the community of WELS. Here's my story. Like a normal teenager, I was spending an early afternoon, late August, cruising around with my friends in Westfield Mall. Like a normal teenager, I was searching through some clothing, talking to my friends regarding school starting up in just a couple of weeks. Like a normal teenager, we're laughing. When we noticed an older-looking lady, an employee, staring at my black friend's hand, we locked eyes. I looked down. When suddenly I heard the older lady say, "Check the cameras." Like a normal teenager, we experienced racial profiling. Feeling awkward walking in the store, we shouldn't feel that way. Feeling the cameras are waiting for us, we shouldn't feel that way. Feeling the anger rise in my body when being falsely accused of stealing, I shouldn't feel that way. When am I going to be a normal teenager?
Thank you.
My name is Ellie Martinez. I am a student at WELS in Burien. Relationships are built on trust. I learned this the hard way when I went through an abusive relationship this past year. I had a boyfriend who completely used not just verbal but physical abuse too. I had bruises everywhere all over me. I had to hide it from my parents. I had to hide it from my teachers. I had to hide it from myself because I didn't know who to go for help. When the abuse went beyond myself and he started threatening my family, I knew I had to speak up. I talked to the SROs at my school. I told them what was going on, just like what I told all of you right now. And you know what? They didn't believe me. They said everything was going to be okay and that this is something that everybody goes through. At the moment, I felt like I had a hole going through the middle of my chest, a fat knot in the middle of my throat. I could picture in my mind myself screaming at the cops. They didn't know my pain. They don't know how bad it was for me to suck my tears in while receiving those slaps and hearing those hurtful words. How can I trust SROs when they didn't believe me? How can I trust somebody who doesn't trust me? How can I have a relationship with police if there is no trust? From what we learned, SROs in the Highland District receive no specific training on working with youth before they are put in public schools. If they had been trained, they could have approached my situation differently. I would have felt assured that everything would have been taken care of properly. Therefore, we ask as a community that the City Council takes into consideration the following suggestions. We advise that you include community voice, especially the voices of youth, in the training of police, such as the led training. Also, we suggest more events that push police officers to meet, connect with, and bond with our community. Thank you for your time.
Good evening, council members. My name is Jennifer Willis, and I live in Burien. I am here to talk about police officers and positive interactions. Some people are scared of officers and some aren't. I've been raised by parents who told me I need to respect authority and people who are much older than me because they have experienced more. Stand up straight, don't stare, don't act suspicious, and just look straight ahead are words that society and my parents put in my head. Picture this, I just finished up taking my test. I'm on my way home. I'm on my way home. I'm stressed out because I think I failed it. When I see a cop, I still need to act like I'm okay when I'm actually not. When I'm thinking, oh my God, I failed, I still have to look presentable, just because they're high authority. Police get confused. They assume we've done something wrong when we actually need support. They need to take the time to get to know us. According to the Burien Police Department 2019-2020 initiative, they plan on increasing positive contacts between community members and police, including all community groups. When it comes to the youth, police do not know how to talk to us. Conversation doesn't go beyond, hi, how are you? There is no time. As a community, we just need to take the time, and that's why we are asking. Take the time to get to know your community, to build and make friendship with children and teens. That way we won't be afraid of higher authority. Meet us halfway and show us there's more to you than a badge. Just take the time. Therefore, as a community, we ask that the City Council take into consideration the following suggestions. We suggest that you include community voice, especially the voices of the youth, in the training of police, such as the student-led training. Also, we suggest more events that push police officers to meet, connect with, and bond with our community. Thank you.
Thank you, Ellie.
Good evening. My name is Josia Magallanes Diaz, and I'm a student at WELS in Burien. I'm going to use my comment time to share some true stories from our community. Story 1, Christopher. Being afraid of being taken away, just a regular family trying to get to Safeway, a normal shopping place. This is the pace we want to change. We don't want the fear of being chased. Is this the way that it has to be for his own family? Come on, what does it take to shop for some damn groceries? To feed our families, we had to flee, and all we plead is for you to stop this greed. I am an immigrant. I am trying to survive, but did you know me? Story 2, Adan. Depression tied me with a rope, couldn't find a way to cope. I lost all kind of hope. Do you want to know when? It started at the age of 10. First thing was a pack of cigarettes, what could be next? Went to cocaine, marijuana, shrooms, and Molly, feeling all kinds of jolly. Started to consume acid, Xans, LSD before the age of 15, and even some ecstasy. To escape what? To escape the pain that I felt. I was begging for some help. I didn't choose to be like this. It helped with what I miss, happiness, what I crave for the most. But once again, I will remind you, depression took me as its host. I suffer from substance abuse. I am trying to survive. But did you know me? Story 3, Ever Mayorga. It all began at the age of 3 within my own family tree. Stepdad, man, I despised that. Physical abuse was what I ate. Clear as day, I remember all the pain and all the hate. I was thrown across the room. You would always hear a loud boom, and when I didn't know how to tie my shoes, hard kicks on my body would precipitate. There wasn't a day where he would not hit me with his belt. It was never great. When the teacher saw the bruises in 2nd grade, she put me and the officer on a date. They took him out of the house, made me feel like I would be okay. I suffer from domestic violence. I'm trying to survive. But did you know me? I am not a threat to our community. I am someone you haven't gotten to know. I am not a low-life drug addict. I am someone you haven't gotten to know. I am not a troublemaker. I am someone you haven't gotten to know. You don't know me, I don't know you. This is why there's always a constant feud. Some people are always feeling blue. They just need one chance to make their life be renewed. Did you know that I don't feel safe? Did you know that this was me, or do you judge me for what you see? Life is not all ugly. Don't keep it low-key. Open your eyes. Let your heart be free. Have some empathy. I advise you to get to know me. Could be better if there wasn't a gap in our community. We need an opportunity to stop this disunity. Thanks.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Tammy, and I am a student at WELS in Burien. As we reiterate our final ask, we invite you, if you agree with us, to stand and join us in saying our final ask to the City Council. Therefore, Therefore, ask as a community, the City Council take into consideration the following suggestion. We advise that you include community voice, especially the voices of youth, in the training of police, such as student-led training. Also, we suggest more events that push police officers to meet, connect with, and bond with our community. Thank you for allowing us to share our voices.
Thank you. We're under public comment, but I would like to give the council here, at least just a small time to address the young people here. And I know this is there could be a challenge on it, but I believe it's something that we need to do. So I'll start with Pedro, Councilmember Holguin.
Thank you, Mayor. Wow, I'm blown away. Thank you for coming by. Thank you for letting us know what we need to be doing. It's absolutely critical to make sure that your voices are included in everything we do, and maybe it's a call for our youth commission to maybe take a role in that, and then also some level of maybe a police commission where youth are included. So, but in any case, thank you, and we look forward to keep working with all of you to make sure it's happening.
Thank you, Councilmember Tosto.
Thank you for coming. You give me hope for the future.
Deputy Mayor Bell?
That was truly incredible. That was extremely professional and extremely moving. I could tell that every word came from the heart, and at the same time, your message was extremely clear. That was perfect.
Councilmember Edgar?
Yes, also, thank you for the group activity. I found all participants very articulate and very moving. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Councilmember Koviak?
Thank you for coming tonight and sharing who you are. I thought it was interesting to see the police officer with you. So I want to thank you for reaching out, and it sounds like it's a new day. Please keep coming back, and please keep speaking who you are. Thank you.
Councilman Marks?
Yeah, thank you. It was really good to be able to talk to all of you ahead of time. I had absolutely no part in this because you were already amazing, and this was exactly what we needed to hear. I thank you, but I'm sorry for everything that you had to share tonight. That I know that it hits really deep. Just know that you're heard, and just keep working at it and keep holding us accountable, because you are exactly the community that we're here to serve. And just, you have all of my love and respect for this. Thank you so much.
And I just want to say that that's the community we want to build. Your words that you said tonight, it was heartfelt because I share in some of your experiences. And to me, this is what it's about. It's about building community. It's about telling people, do you know my story? And that's what we're moving this city to be, is an inclusive city. And I want to thank our police department, Burien Police Department, the chief, and the deputy chief for being out here and taking a leadership role, because there should be no community in this country where we fear our officers, and it's going to take the police department to step up, and I see it here tonight, and I want to thank you for that. Y ustedes, ánimo, adelante. Gracias.